Hello, guys. Welcome to the Xolocast. Nate, Abaurrea, and Rafa.
I'm back.
Everybody's back.
I'm back.
We are
Welcome
back, baby.
to the Xolocast.
How are you guys?
Ready to rock, Nate?
I'm good. It is good to be here. What's up? I didn't mean to leave you hanging.
Please don't let me
Whoa,
hang.
drama going on over here. No, I am so glad to be here with you guys one more time before I go out on my Copa Oro safari, man. My Gold Cup adventure for the next month. So my last day here in Tijuana until probably like mid-July when Xolos will be playing Boca Juniors
I'll
in
be here for
Estadio
the
Caliente. I get back, Gold Cup final. Gran Final de Copa Oro, July 7th in Chicago.
And you come back here.
Xolos Boca, I'm back in San Diego the next
Cherry
day.
on the
Xolos
top.
Boca on July 10th right here.
Very
We're
nice.
having dinner, baby. We're having dinner.
We're happy to have you here, Nate.
And then
And shout out to the homies.
Great
Shout out
shirt.
to Los Rudos.
great shirt.
Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff.
Saludos, hermano Rudo. Dale like, comparte, no te pases de lanza.
Directito la pedrada, saludos rudos.
Great shirt, dude.
But we're here on the off season to talk a little bit about what's going on in the league, what's going on, the new stuff, who are the new players that are coming in, who are the players that are leaving the Xolos, and I want to talk about the Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that.
It could be fun.
Because it's
What do you mean?
El
It
equipo
sounds
sin,
great,
el
dude. I
equipo
love
sin
it.
fronteras
It's
Yeah.
gonna play
is going to play without borders
against
and
teams
it-
for the.
and against MLS teams.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
agree
In
with that.
LA. In LA. I think I'm looking at it one game at a time. Maybe I've had too
What do
many.
you mean in LA?
Them talking about playing.
Oh, it's playing in LA,
The
yes.
game is played against the Galaxy. It's a one-off. It's a quarterfinal. They've bracketed it out.
Yeah, it's eight teams are playing.
4 teams from Liga MX. 4 teams from MLS. Here's the approach I'm kind of taking with it. I was joking. Maybe I've had too many interviews and conversations with Oscar Pareja. You know, and I'm all about now. You know, being measured and taking it one game at a time. You know, I'm not getting carried away with this thing.
It's rubbing off.
I'm looking
Look
at
at
it
him
more.
now.
I don't like
I'm
it.
looking at it more of like the occasion itself. That I think it's July 23rd. Before we get carried away about this being like this new tournament, if they go and they lose that game, their league thing is done. So one game at a
Who said it's
time.
gonna
He's
lose?
right. He's right.
Xolos get to play a big, meaningful, competitive game against the LA Galaxy for the first time in 6 years. I think they played CONCACAF Champions League back in like 2013,
Which we won.
which Xolos won. I mean,
I'm saying
The Xolos-
I know I'm the eternal optimist on this, but I can see Xolos, if not winning it, being part of a final to win it.
you would only need to win 2 games
That's
to
what
be
I
a
mean.
part of the final. And so
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the opportunity for Xolos and excited to see specifically, again, I'm trying to not get carried away with the whole thing because all the games are hosted in the U.S.
I understand
None of the
that.
games in Mexico. There's a few things that I've had problems with that we've written about, that we've talked about on Twitter, but I'm stoked
It's
for
a start.
Xolos
It's a start.
Galaxy in L.A. on July 23rd.
It's a start,
I'm
brother.
really excited. I really want to try
this-
and get to go there.
Oh, we're going.
We're
there.
going, dude.
We're there.
Phil,
Phil, we're there.
you're coming with.
You're coming with.
Okay, yeah, we're definitely going. Rudo, hey, come on. I know you're in Indio, California. You better show
Coachella
up, brother.
Valley to
You better show
Carson,
up,
like
brother.
that's a piece of cake for the Rudos. You know they're going to be there.
Zlatan,
Very
bro.
nice. Oh, it's gonna be
Zlatan
awesome.
Ibrahimovic
Look, I
against
know
Xolos.
that the Xolos, when they play good, they can definitely easily beat LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
When they play good. When they don't play so good, they
Well,
can still beat
But
the
we're not
Galaxy.
we don't know what type of team
Yes,
we're
We
It's a
going to
new
don't
team.
know what
Yeah.
the squad could look like in a month. There could be a few different. We know a few different things about it, but I think there's a few different things that could happen between now and then that
Okay.
could really dictate what that Xolos team is going to look like and how the Galaxy are going to take that game. I hope that it's a game where Zlatan plays up front
Yeah,
and it's
that's gonna be
Xolos
awesome.
against the Lion. Like, let's go. Zlatan Ibrahimovic playing against Club Tijuana. It would be a
Rahul
beautiful thing.
stopping some kicks
from
I mean,
Zlatan,
that'd be
exactly.
awesome.
Hey, I mean, that would be a highlight. It's a highlight for a lot of people.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new players that Xolos are bringing in?
I mean, to be quite honest, there hasn't really been anything that's stolen headlines. It's been players who
There's
I
no
know.
like, big name stars
No,
yet.
it's players who I hear about them signing, and then I immediately want to do a little bit more research on.
Because you
and
haven't heard of them, right?
Not too much, but they're players who clearly have been scouted. They're players who clearly you talk about. El Generalito. You talk about Papi, Oscar Pareja being involved with whoever is coming in those doors. So I think
at the end of the day, they have to sign off for it, and they've been doing a really good job.
I'm excited to see what the next season is going to bring for Xolos on the field. The last time I was on the show, we ran over like a quick list of players, and I said, will they be here or won't they, or would you want them to be on the lineup, on the starting 11 next season? And there were players like Miller Bolaños, Ariel Nahuel Pan, Ignacio Rivero, a few Omar Mendoza, Luis Fuentes. These are guys where, you know, you could make cases both ways for a lot of these players. I want to see cohesion within this team. I would like to see as little turnover as possible for the Xolos team.
Give them time to grow. Give them time to learn some new skills or something.
Give them some time to build on what was a pretty cool and fun and entertaining season. Very inconsistent, extremely inconsistent. That was part of the fun, but it was a season that was a lot of fun.
It was exciting.
It gave great memories to a lot of people, so I would love to see the Bo, Nahuel Pan, Bolaños, Rivero, Lahoud in the net. People talking about Xolos need a new goalie. I don't buy that.
Mitchell left.
And Mitchell
yesterday, they told him, they gave him the papers. Who else left? El Topo Valenzuela left.
Yeah.
El Cubo is still with the Xolos. Then the
Juan Martín Lucero.
Juan Martín Lucero is here in Tijuana.
Juan Martín Lucero is currently hanging out with all his Argentino friends.
Oh,
and
yes.
I see the pictures of them drinking the mate and doing the workouts. And you know what? We all had mixed feelings about Lucero about 5 months ago, and I see that now. And look, maybe I'm just in like too good of a mood soccer-wise with Liverpool winning the Champions League and everything. So I'm just like, whoa, sorry, subtle flex.
Put that in there.
But I see Lucero back, and there's no immediate rush to judgment for me. I'm like, good for him. Maybe he'll get hot again. He's a very streaky player, and I'll leave it at that.
We saw it once before with Bo. We might see it again with Lucero.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see what happens.
Yeah, but the new players...
Alex doesn't have a lot of faith in that.
That's what I'm talking about. I understand where he's coming from.
Alex has been behind Lucero from day one.
Well,
he's been asking for maybe
you have a cycle or a time in a team. I think he's done with Xolos. I'm not saying he's a good or a bad player. I mean, I think they're going to sell him or they're going to put him somewhere else. What about Mauro Lainez?
I saw this. So Diego Lainez's older brother will be a Xolos player. He's
good, Nate. Come on, baby.
He's great.
I watched Mauro Lainez score a goal, and was this when he was playing for Lobos BUAP against Xolos, I think a couple of seasons ago, and on a yellow card, ripped off his shirt in celebration and was then sent off. That's a moment that a lot of people know him for.
Not just you.
Not just me. However, I've also seen him play. I mean, look, it was a silly moment. I've seen it happen in other parts of the world, but you get an automatic yellow card for taking your shirt off. So he was, I think, on a yellow and then scored a goal and ripped off the shirt and got set off in the game. So if that's what you're known for, and then he's known for being Diego Lainez's older brother. Sometimes stuff like that is unfair. You're known for one blooper moment, and you're known for the success of your little bro. I've seen him have moments of real skill, of real flair, of real quality on the field against Xolos and against other teams as well. So I hope, again, streakiness. I hope that he's a player who can find a good groove under Pareja this season. We'll see.
Nate the optimist.
We will see.
I'm very optimistic and just full of positivity.
You're like in a good mood. I wonder why, Nate.
Jordan Silva.
Jordan Silva. Again, I mean, this is a player where I from the research that I was able to do on this player, I see him as a guy who's going to compete for a spot in the squad. I mean, that's all I can really say right now, and I'm anxious to hear more about these guys. I'm anxious to hear how their progression into the squad goes, and hear from Oscar Pareja himself.
So, Lolo Miranda is another one, right?
Lolo.
I
just love. I'm running with the name on that. I can't wait. Like, are you kidding me? Like, here's
Lolo.
I do have to play the card of being the actual play-by-play commentator here.
You're ready for that.
I'm really excited for Lolo. And the ball at the feet.
I love that you use the
Lolo.
hand
Here's
as-
Lolo.
as the
Lolo, the
Lolo.
shot from Lolo. Oh,
He's ready,
It's
dude.
Lolo.
It's beautiful.
Lolo.
He's ready. What
I
is
mean,
this?
it's like I think of lowriders. I think
Lolo.
of I had a great friend named Eric Lopez, a soccer player up in San Diego. He was Lolo. You know, I think of just everything. I think of just Lolo. It's
just
Lolo.
cool. It just flows.
It's cool. It's just it flows. It's Lolo. It's Lolo. Let's do it.
Okay.
love it.
Bolaños apparently, I just heard rumors, but he's not.
He's not staying?
No, he's staying.
Okay.
I think Miller's going to stay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
all the speculation of him leaving and people kind of assuming that he was gone, I didn't buy into that much. And he was a player who I knew people, again, had that kind of love-hate thing with. There wasn't a lot of gray area with Bolaños.
What happens?
You know?
What happens, Nate? From your experience, like what happens to players like El Cubo Torres, a guy who was doing well at MLS? He was doing fine. He could have stayed there. He could have gone to another team. But being a starter, a star, right now he's being frozen for a while, and I only see him in social media.
Right.
He's always smiling. I like him, dude.
Yeah.
He's smiling. He's positive. He's like, hey, what's up? Fuck. What's going on there? Can he tell his manager, like, just get me out of here, give me some playtime? What happens there?
I mean, there could be a loan somewhere, and it's a contract situation where he is in a committed contract, and he could get loaned out where Xolo still own the contract, but it's going to be hard for anybody based on the form that he's exhibited to want to take on a contract of Eric El Cubo Torres,
And he's
and
not
that's
cheap.
just a matter of fact. And it wasn't a cheap contract. This was actually not a massive one, but
But
I
not
don't
cheap.
know the full specifics of it. But from what I recall, this was a quote unquote for the transfer window. This was a marquee signing. If you remember when Cubo Torres came in, where it was like a big deal. He played. He was the option up top. You remember him not scoring the goal
But
against.
Pareja's not using him, dude.
Well, he wasn't a Pareja signing. This was under
Coca.
Coca. This is under Diego Coca, and this was in the Apertura of 2018. And he came and he did not score a single goal for. However, it was like 2 months into the season, and he got one goal, and he might have scored in a cup competition or something, and we had hope. And then it dried up again, and then a new manager came in, and the new manager had no interest
Yeah, it's like,
in.
yeah, I
have
for
nothing
you.
to
Yeah.
do with you. I have nothing to do with why you're here.
I don't
So
like math. I don't like El Cubo. I don't like
I'm
rectangles.
glad.
Fuck this shit.
But fuck geometry. That was. I think that was the direct quote from Oscar Pereira.
Yeah,
Cubo Torres is a player who is people
I
have
like
used
him,
the term
dude.
dead weight, and
I
it
like him,
sucks,
dude.
man,
I
because
like
he's
him.
a guy with a good attitude.
I like
everything you see where he's hanging out with his teammates, he's still around, he's still training, and he's desperate. He was playing in like U20 games last year. He was trying to play in reserve team games. He's trying to just stay in shape.
It breaks my
'cause-
heart.
Let's
Cool.
echando
We're
ganas.
here for you,
Come on,
brother.
come on, baby.
Let's
You're
do
gonna
this.
come
Come on,
back.
Cubo.
Now,
You're gonna come back.
Thinking on a team level, how do you think the approach should be on the mindset for Cholos for the Leagues Cup and
Yeah.
for the exhibition game with Boca?
For the exhibition game with Boca, it's to put on a show. For the exhibition game with Boca,
Be loose.
it's to be loose. It's to play as
Have fun.
pretty of soccer as you could possibly play, to have fun, to definitely trade shirts at the end of the game. I mean, there's so many Argentino connections
Yeah,
between
so many.
Xolos, and not necessarily that all of those Argentinos have adoration and love for Boca Juniors. They might actually have the
Yeah, we
exact
don't know that,
opposite.
yeah.
Who knows? Their whole backstory. Boca's such a complicated club and such a massive name in world football. So I think the biggest thing about that game for Xolos is to have fun, to play entertaining soccer, and to give back to the beautiful game.
It always happens, dude.
Now we
put on the plane.
are.
It's only a few seconds, dude.
Back.
Sorry, dude. I cut your
No, it's beautiful. They try to cut me off. They invite me over for a podcast,
And they say
and then
they wanna
they say
hear-
they want to hear from the English language voice of the Xolos, and then they're like, Cut.
Cut him out.
Cut him out. Cut him out. We got more important shit to do.
Sorry about that.
No, where was I? Talking about Boca and Xolos.
versus
style,
Xolos.
style, entertainment, entertainment value,
Having
and
fun.
love of the game. Giving back. I think I was going to say give back to the
people,
gods
to
of
the
the beautiful game.
fans.
I was going to spit some bullshit.
Oh my God, I'm so
poetry
sorry about
line.
that. You're-
It's
Philosophy.
okay. Poesía en Tijuana.
What
It was
about
gonna
the
be- it was gonna be
league? What about the
beautiful.
League Cup? Do you think there's an actual shot?
The League's Cup is something that has to be considered a shot.
It's a new
you
thing.
You win 3 games and you win the thing. This
It's
isn't
new.
like a massive tournament, and at the same time, it's a chance to
What if
do something
What if it
recognizable.
happens to be something that like
It's gonna be
brings
fun.
people together?
It's going to be fun.
I don't see you so excited because I know you got the gold cup
Yes,
right
talk
now.
to us about the Gold Cup.
I'm excited when I get back. We're talking about how excited I am to get back for Xolos Boca. See, Boca.
Okay,
I was thinking
Boca-
Boca Chivas 2005 there. Yeah.
Boca or River for you?
Boca through and
Okay.
through. Boca
Okay.
100%.
Hopefully we see Benedetto.
That is one of the coolest parts
think
about that.
so.
Pipa Benedetto coming back, he's all about this friendly.
Dude.
He and the people
He's
of
gonna play,
Tijuana,
right?
he has to.
I think he
the
has to
goals
come.
that
Yeah,
he
I mean,
scored for
dude.
Tijuana. Has there been anybody, any good statisticians out there? And we could do a little bit of this work ourselves, but we'd rather have somebody else
Have
do
the
it.
community
The community
participate.
come together to do the work for us. Has there ever been a player with a better goal scoring return for Xolos than Pipa Benedetto for your average of games played to goals scored?
He was a killer, right?
I mean, my God, I think it was like something like a goal every game and a half or 2 or something. Just absurd. He was
Yes.
so good. He was here for
Yes.
such a short amount of time, and he endeared himself to these
Well,
people
hopefully
forever.
we'll see him
Yeah.
on what is it?
That's
July
on July
10th?
10th.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is I'm getting carried away with that because of the romanticism of Boca, and I'm a total hopeless football romantic. The idea of the LA Galaxy and
It
everything
doesn't
up
excite
there,
you at all.
not as much, but at the same time, that's 13 days after that Boca friendly. That's a competitive game. The
We'll
Apertura
have time
starting
to
right
talk
around
about
that
it.
time.
Yeah.
Believe me,
We'll see
I got,
some things by that point.
I got some background with the Galaxy. Growing up a San Jose Earthquakes fan up north. You know what I mean? So I got some feelings there. So I'm excited for Xolos
see,
and the LA
favoritism.
Galaxy.
San Jose Earthquake,
Absolutely,
sweet,
absolutely, absolutely. Northern California.
So you're
Okay
going
with
to the Gold Cup.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And what are you doing there?
I am covering initially Group D of the CONCACAF Gold Cup, which is the United States men's national team, Panama, Trinidad and Tobago, and newcomers Guyana. So I will be
Nice.
covering
It's not an easy
Group
team, right?
D.
Winning games. You're
It's
going to be
gonna
covering.
be it's gonna be
Not really, dude.
it's gonna be some tough stuff for
Panama
for
is
the-
a good team.
It's going to be tough stuff for the USA. I'll just leave it at interesting rematch with Trinidad and Tobago. The first time those two teams are playing since that fateful night back in 2017.
Yeah.
Panama is a team that always does well in the Gold Cup, and most of all, I'm actually excited where I am really being embedded for the work that I'm doing with the U.S. team. But what I'm most excited about is the tournament at large. I'm excited to watch that first night in Minnesota. I go from San Diego to Minnesota in a couple days, and it'll be USA against Guyana. And you got to cover the U.S. team. You got to treat every game like it's a final as a writer and cover it as a journalist. I'm just as stoked for Panama against Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Which is the first game that night, and it could be like that, where all the Gold Cup with a double header.
Yeah, you're gonna see some cool games. You're gonna have
It's USA, the Gold Cup. What is the Gold Cup to 99% of people since its inception? It's Mexico. It's the USA.
Oh, yes.
What does everybody want out of the Gold Cup in a final?
Mexico contra USA.
Contra Estados Unidos. There's a whole other tournament going on, and so it's my responsibility to make sure to honor that and make sure that all these players and their stories are told. And
Where else are you going?
Oh man, I'll be going from Minnesota, and I'm excited for some of these cities too. These are not the most marquee cities
Delaware.
in America.
Nashville.
I'm in
That's
Delaware.
pretty
Nashville's going to be
fun.
great.
Yeah.
I'm going to Cleveland. I'm going
Sweet.
to St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay.
Cleveland,
Oh, the
Ohio.
Mighty Ducks.
Kansas
Nice.
City. Kansas City, Missouri. Eat some barbecue. Go check out some old, jazz and blues museums. Go check out a lot of baseball history there. The Negro League Baseball Museum is in Kansas City. All sorts of good stuff. Then to
They just
Nashville.
won the Stanley Cup, too.
No,
That's in St. Louis.
You're going to some really amazing places.
Close. He tries to be a hockey fan all of a sudden. That was well done.
I tried.
You tried. So Kansas City will then send me to Nashville, and then to Philadelphia, and then to Chicago, Sweet Home Chicago, to close it out. So
That
excited!
sounds so great, dude.
That's
for
a
the
nice
next
little road trip you're going to be on.
3.5 weeks. I'll be in the air.
Okay.
I'll be in the air. I'm all about literal road trips, but this time I will actually be
Air
allowed.
trips.
I will be allowed on planes,
Very
and
nice.
they will fly me around, and I will be back for Xolos and Boca.
Oh, this sounds great. We wish you the best when you come back.
Have a
We'll do
great
another
trip.
episode with
Please, you're gonna
with
have to
the
tell us
Boca background and how
Give
it
us
went.
a little bit of that, and to talk about what's going to come up. Maybe we'll have some more news of the Xolos for
You
the
know
Boca
what
game.
I actually wanted to talk with you guys about before we close this thing out was some big news in Liga MX, and I don't want to get too into the specifics of it, but more just kind of the meat of it, which is that Xolos, most likely, I think 99.9% sure here, are not going to be the only border club in Liga MX.
What do you think of that, Ciudad Juarez?
I love Los Bravos becoming a part of Liga MX. I wish sincerely from the bottom of my football romantic heart that they could have done it by winning promotion. That
Agreed.
they could have done it
That would have
by
been more fun for
winning
everybody.
the Ascenso playoffs twice in a row,
It's like,
or winning
where's the story behind it?
Well, it's
Lobos
not.
Buap, right?
It's Lobos Buap. It's Lobos Buap being a team that couldn't pay their players. It's Lobos Buap being a team that was in turmoil and only had like 7 players on the books going in to this next season. And so there's a lot. Like I said, we don't have time to get into all
Yeah.
of that.
We will.
And we will. We'll
will.
talk more about it once we know a little bit
Yeah,
more. 'cause
once
there's
they get into the
a
league,
few
everything,
conflicting
yeah.
reports about everything, but it's almost 100% certain that FC Juarez
Congrats.
will be a Liga MX team. Sort of a backhanded congrats because they didn't win anything. That was people had some fun with it on Twitter the other day. They posted whatever the graphic was in the Spanish language
Percentage.
font of like we've ascended, we've won ascension, and someone's like, did they just save this graphic from when they lost in the Ascenso playoffs? You know what I mean?
Dude.
And so, hey, happened. It's happened in Liga MX before. A lot of America fans might not know that back in the '80s, America were relegated and bought their way back into the first division. So
Yeah, I
there's a
think-
lot of episodes of this. It's
Nate
not.
is very optimistic today,
Yeah.
but I don't like it because the way they came up, I mean, buying their way into, doesn't matter who they are, America, FC Juarez, what happened to the Los Tiburones del Veracruz.
Would you have liked it if they would have been the Lobos de Juarez?
It doesn't matter. The
Would that
name
have
of
been-
the club. It's still,
I know
it's
it doesn't.
still
It doesn't
so-
matter, but the ones that should be aren't there. So how about the ones that are buying in have to like take?
You know
on
what?
You know what I mean? Like
I
But
do.
it's kinda
I
jinxed,
do.
too.
It is a little bit. You know what would make me happy would be Mexican soccer handling promotion and relegation the way that it should be handled in this
Okay.
country.
Okay,
And
Nate.
it's one team. I know that's,
Yes,
that's
I
talk
agree.
about wishful thinking.
agree. I agree with the way
talk
you
about
say it.
wishful
Very
thinking, very optimistic.
They
But I'm
just
not
dumped
the
you,
only
right?
one.
They
I'm
just
not the
dumped
only
you.
one beating this drum. I'm not the only one beating this drum because this is something that is very important to the Mexican game. And my God, talk about putting a bow on this thing. Very important to the people of Tijuana. I mean, without the traditional system, Xolos wouldn't have had Tijuana, the city. This
the
city of
pride
Tijuana wouldn't have
behind
had.
the pride behind the
That's
team. Is
Club
that
Frontera. That's the documentary. That it wasn't just the championship; it was the ascension. It was the promotion.
That was the
up
big part of
to
it,
the
yeah.
top flight.
No-
that was
no
a
Xolocast,
massive,
motherfuckers.
massive part of that. There is no Xolocast. There's none of this shit. I'm not a radio. I'm
Oh,
nothing.
yes,
I don't.
yes.
none of this
Yes.
shit exists. And so,
So
I
I'm
would love
gonna-
to see Mexican football get a better grip on that for the future.
Oh, yes.
One team up every year, one team down. It doesn't have to be three. just
Share
one
this
up, one
with
down.
everybody, so maybe something gets done.
Yeah, exactly.
Follow
Start
Nate.
the petition here.
Follow Nate Aborrea. Check out what he's gonna do with the Gold Cup. Follow the Xolocast.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna be back before the Boca game, definitely For more info with Nate,
Follow Los Rudos.
Los Rudos, shout out.
Right here.
Thank
From
you, everyone.
Coachella to Mexicali to Tijuana to Ensenada and back to San Diego. Shout out to the
Me
Rudos.
despido. We love the Cholos. We're going to do good. Stop hating.
Viene una buena temporada.
Dude, they
Pónganse
got good
pilas.
players. Stop crying. This is how we do it. It's not easy. Look at Lobos WAP. It's not easy, so we're doing good. Trust us.
Pareja is getting into a groove. High
Mexico,
hopes for this.
USA in the final. Yo no creo. I don't think USA is going to go far. This guy is super optimistic. He's going to
Mexico is going to win.
But Mexico's going to win it, baby.
Mexico
Okay.
comes back with the cup.
They say Mexico Copa Oro winner. Mexico Copa Oro winner.
Bye. We take
Nate,
care, everybody.
gracias.